Isabel. 9 o'clock.
Is that the grievance? Let me see.
This one at one.
One.
This is the meeting.
But the grievance is here. The very bottom, yeah. Yeah. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor
the Texas flag. I
pledge allegiance to thee,
Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Wilkes County Commissioners Court for today, September 9th, 2024, 9 a.m. Now in session. Agenda item number 3, public testimony. Is there anybody in the public like to address the court at this time?
Good morning, Judge. Just want to let you know that we have already asked for an estimate on our generator for the county jail. That's going to be our second generator, so we should have the amount provided to us this week, and we will let your office know. We also want to inform you that we have 87 inmates, a total of 80 in Jim Wells. We have a total of 12 females. We have 15 in Maverick County and 9 females in Maverick County. We've also received the contract and agreement from Hebbronville. Sheriff has provided that to us. We'll be visiting that facility this coming week in an effort to cut down on our transportation from here to Maverick County. Also, we had officers attend a free class in the Valley, which is school-based enforcement for law enforcement at no cost to the county. The more education we have and preventative methods we can take for our school districts, the better off law enforcement will be. I also want to congratulate your office for participating yesterday in the Orange Grove Parade. You all did a lot of good work. A lot of good sausage was given out to the kids. That was great. Thank you all very much. We have the Law Enforcement Memorial on Wednesday. You're more than welcome to participate. Everyone's invited. It starts at 9 a.m. here at the office. The City of Alice Police Department and other agencies will be coming to our office for the 9/11 remembrance. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Sheriff.
What time is that at, Sheriff?
9 a.m.
Would anybody else like to address the court at this time?
I would just, I'm as county auditor. I just want to say that procurement policy and all these purchases, we need to follow it. A lot of this, things are being purchased, they're going out. We are in charge of the procurement policy for the county, at the county auditors. We need to make sure that it is done properly. There are forms to be filled out. I think you put out that yourself, Judge?
Yes.
And whatever's being bought or whatever, we need to know beforehand. And we just need to be ahead of time so we can research it to make sure that the procurement policy is followed, that before it comes to Commissioner's Court. We had one that's coming up today. We didn't find out till we saw it here. You know, we're supposed to know beforehand. Everything's done correctly, but we just weren't aware of it. And there's a form that needs to be filled out, I think through your office, Judge. As long as everything's done and okay, we need to know ahead of time, not when it comes to Commissioner's Court, but everything was done right. I just want to let that know. But everybody, that's not just for this person, for everybody.
Right.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Anybody else like to address the court at this time? Hearing none, we'll go to agenda item number 4. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve minutes from previous meetings. Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, and I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 5, discuss, consider, and take action to approve the PHH addition, replat of Lot 3 of Westdale Estates, number 4 subdivision located at County Road 73 and owned by Reed Caleb Walmerine.
Judge, this is a replat of an existing subdivision. So I think more than likely this has to do with a purchase and possibly a loan. So they needed a replat done. I've reviewed it. Safety Department has reviewed it. Everything looks good. And we recommend that you approve it.
Motion to approve. Item is presented.
I think this is the original. This needs some signatures. I think by you, Judge. You got the original? Okay, go ahead and bring it up.
State your name.
Can you go ahead and state your name for the court?
Samantha Fulmering.
So, Samantha.
You wanna go, let him sign it first and then I'll finish. I don't know if,
Let's see.
once,
Oh, you got it.
yeah, it's gotta go
File.
down over there
Gotta file it.
to, yeah, we have to file it and then we'll take it to the office right after. Okay. Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion. We have a second. Okay, any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 6, consent agenda. Consent agenda items will be voted upon in one vote and will not be discussed separately unless requested by the county judge, commissioner, or citizen.
County Judge, Commissioners Court, I have looked over the requested revisions, and with your okay, I approve them.
Motion to approve item number 6 is presented, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 7. Presentation by Hayden Webb of Flock Safety for the consideration and approval and installation and maintenance of license plate recognition, LPR cameras on State Highway 359 to greater assist with law enforcement activity using technology.
Morning, Commissioners and Judge, Constable Long, Precinct 3. I went to a law enforcement symposium in Fort Worth and sat through a 2-hour presentation referenced flock license plate cameras, and I was not even familiar with flock cameras. And they're used by lots of people across the whole United States. In fact, Alice PD is probably going to get on board with these. They're a self-sustained camera system, license plate recognition, but they also give a description of the vehicle, but it's only from the rear. There's no facial recognition, no expectation of privacy is violated. These are used, they're solar powered, so they don't require any type of electrical service, and they do give the license plate recognition. You can go on and search for a particular vehicle, search for a license plate. They do notify you on alerts on your phone for stolen vehicles, murder suspects. If you have illegal dumping, you can go back and search for the vehicle that has the trash in the vehicle. I'm not too familiar with all the schematics of them. Mr. Webb is, and I'd like him to do the presentation.
How are you doing, everyone? I'm Hayden Webb with Flock Safety, and first I'd like to thank you for allowing me to take the time to talk with each and every one of you today. As Constable Long mentioned, he was at the symposium in Fort Worth, and our presentation was given about Flock. What I'm here to do today is just to tell you about how we got started, where we're at today, and why Constable Long and I are looking forward to potentially working with you and your entire county. I'm starting in his precinct. But so how we got started, our CEO, Garrett Langley, we lived in an affluent neighborhood, was constantly getting home break-ins. The citizens didn't have a description or a plate to give, but they had a description of the vehicle. And what he decided to do is program his Android phone to take photos of passing vehicles that weren't, actual residents of the HOA he was living in, Over time, law enforcement was able to come track down the suspects, apprehend the suspects, and then that grew from starting in HOAs to law enforcement whenever they saw the technology that we were offering these HOAs. At that point, now we're the largest LPR network throughout the entire nation, arguably in Texas as well. We're growing business down in South Texas, down at the border, as well as Houston, Austin, Dallas, and in San Antonio currently, and all surrounding law enforcement agencies, county sheriff's offices, as well as local departments. What our technology allows us to do is to look at the back of a vehicle without the plate and allow law enforcement officers to filter out photos to apprehend a suspect based on a certain time and date that that vehicle is passing through. So the way these cameras work, the vehicles pass the cameras and it takes a photo of the back of the vehicle, just like a toll tag camera would. And then, so you can look from a certain time and day between 11 a.m., 2 p.m. of a certain time from spanning months. And then you can filter out these photos based on descriptors that allow them to custom search, such as convertible, bumper sticker, window stickers, any identifiable objects. That allows them to filter the photos out, get a suspected vehicle, and then apprehend the suspect in question while utilizing less law enforcement officers and saving money for the department over in the long haul. This also allows them to share a network data with each other, so they can coordinate plans of attack to apprehend suspects. So we don't have access to the data. You guys are the only ones that have access to it. And again, just as Constable Long mentioned, we're not here to take photos of individuals. It's not tied to any DMV records. These are just photographs that law enforcement officers are able to use at their own discretion to gather evidence and apprehend suspects in crimes. The data sharing aspect of it is where departments who do have flock cameras are able to gain access to other departments who have flock cameras access. So like they can share and coordinate. So when you put a custom hot list out, which is what Constable Long mentioned, that's on the flock network. So when a department does that, a camera who passes through, or excuse me, a car who passes through those cameras is going to notify your login within seconds that that vehicle is in your town or in your county. Especially if they're coming from out of town, either a murder suspect or a robbery suspect or what have you, you're going to know within seconds if somebody who needs to get apprehended is coming into your county. What we're proposing here is to start with 3 cameras in precinct 3 off of Highway 359 and then outside of a neighborhood as well. You know, ideally, once the value is seen after the work has been done, we would like to potentially expand throughout the entire county, but just starting right now with Constable Long and I, we'd like to take a look at these 3 cameras first. Once enough success is gained with those cameras, ideally, we'd like to come revisit and see if there's a potential expansion at play for your county. But, yes, sir.
Are you all on with the city of Alice already?
Not yet, no, sir, but I met with Chief Garcia. Last time I met with Constable Long, and we're working on getting those on board for them.
Good one.
Excuse me, what,
Yes, sir.
what surrounding agencies are you with?
So in the San Antonio area, we, on the northeast side, Live Oak, Selma, Schertz, Converse, Cibolo, Bernie, Texas as well. We're currently working with Kerrville and Fredericksburg. On the coastal Bend side, Corpus Christi is the only city that does not have flock currently. But we, like Aransas Pass, Port Aransas PD, they all have flock. Houston is a gigantic flock city, all surrounding areas within Houston, as well as Austin, including San Marcos, Kyle, and then down south at the border, Edinburgh, Brownsville, and Cameron County Sheriff's Office as well. And we're currently talking with Mercedes PD, Alamo PD, and Weslaco PD as well. Yes, sir.
Y'all have Duval and Clayburgh or Brooks County or Live Oak?
Live Oak County, not yet, no, sir, no. But that's my job. I'm the local representative for the South Texas area. I'm based in San Antonio locally, but I travel all the way down to the border. I was just there last week, and my job is to spread the word about flock to all surrounding agencies so they can get on that large data network.
I have heard of those.
Yeah.
When I went to that
Yes, sir.
symposium, I didn't know what flock was.
Yeah.
I had no clue. What I handed out is a proposal for a 1-year and a 5-year contract for y'all to look at. The reason I had him propose a 5-year also, because if there is a price increase, we will be locked in if you do a 5-year plan. If it's just a 1-year, there's a price increase. If it wants to be renewed, it'll actually renew at a better rate.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or anything? Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
There's no, it's just a presentation item, so there's no action items here, but we'll review it, see where we can go from here.
Yes, sir. No, I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Agenda item number 8, 9, 10, and 11 and 12. These are kind of all together. We'll start with 8, presentation on grant opportunities offered by US EPA Community Change Grant Program. And we have to, Mr. Lazaro, to enlighten us about the grant. It's a pretty good grant, we feel good enough to put it on the agenda, and hopefully we can do something. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Judge, the Commissioners. What a pleasure to be here with you this morning and give you a little bit of information on this EPA Community Change Grant Program. Just to give you a little bit of history of how this grant opportunity came up. It was part of the inflation bill that was passed by the Biden-Harris administration in November of 2022. And it established grant opportunities for communities across the United States under a $2 billion grant opportunity being managed through EPA. Very few communities have capitalized on this opportunity. What this grant does is basically it's a catch-all for all your needs in your community. It involves utilizing green technology to be able to strengthen your infrastructure program by making it more resilient. You can apply it to water, wastewater, drainage, housing, community facilities. And this past June, the administration, after reviewing the status as to where they were in funding of this project, or this program, it was determined that out of the $2 billion that were set aside under the program, only $325 million had been allocated to communities across the United States. And what it did is that it put out a big urgent need to promote the program. So as such, a lot of marketing effort has been done and is being promoted to a lot of rural communities across the country, specifically those that are designated as disadvantaged communities. And with that being said, Jim Wells is an ideal candidate for this type of program. And just to give you an idea of the type of benefit that could come to your community, this is an opportunity to apply for up to a $20 million grant that you all would be able to work together as a commission and as a community to bring the needs that you most need in your county as far as infrastructure, but at the same time making it to where you're utilizing green technology, and that would mean solar panels, it would mean wind turbine, it would mean for roads, you would end up using what they call low carbon asphalt or low carbon concrete, anything that's green to be able to minimize and meet the goal of decreasing carbon dioxide out into the system. The beautiful part about this is that this $20 million grant does not come with any kind of match component. It's a straight out match. The other thing is that out of that $2 billion allocation that was done, 150 million were actually allocated or are allocated for what they call community border communities. And that means that it's communities like you all, counties like you all, that are within 150 miles from the US border. And as up to this point, no monies have been allocated for any type of projects of that type. The timeline is very, very tight. The applications are due November the 21st, and that's the reason we're bringing it to you all today, because it's a quite undertaking, and there's things that you have to do in order to make it forward. I know that one of the things that was mentioned this morning is procurement process. As part of this application, you cannot, or or professional services cannot be dedicated to the application without y'all going through necessary procurement, and that involves engineering, architectural, grant services, project management services. So that's the reason we're bringing it up to you all for your consideration, because if y'all decide to move forward, it's gonna be one where everybody's gonna have to roll up their sleeves here pretty fast and go through the necessary advertising, and then, of course, select your professionals, hold public meetings, and then, of course, workshops to see how we can program this, these monies for the most benefit for your community. But like I said, it's money that's here for the taking. It's getting in line, presenting your needs and basically the facts to EPA, and try to do it before November the 21st. And it's a rolling type of application. So what that means is the sooner you get it in, the sooner it gets evaluated. The goal would be to get it submitted before November 21st. That way they have a chance to review it. And if there's any questions, it would allow the county to respond to those accordingly. And hopefully you can capture some of those monies. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them at this time.
No, thank you for that review. That was pretty comprehensive review right there. And the reason why they're all there, these 4 or 5 agenda items, is because of the November 21st deadline. And it gives us an opportunity to apply for stuff to get renewed, rebuilt, and some new stuff that might create some economic development throughout the county, and give us an opportunity. You know, grants are very, you know, we apply for a lot of grants, and you can probably agree with me on this one. You know, it's like baseball. When you're batting, if you go to bat 10 times, you get 3 hits. You're pretty darn good baseball player. But that's how difficult it is with grants too. You apply for 10, you get through very, very well. And apparently, people have not, or counties have not been applying for this grant. It gives us a good opportunity to get it. So, and also, through the $20 million, it's just not one project. We can have 3 or 4 or 5 projects. So that gives us an opportunity for each one of our commissioners and myself to come out with a project that we may want and we may need. And of course, we always take the need first, and then take care of our wants. But thank you so much. And this first one is just the presentation. The second agenda item is number 9, which is discuss, consider, and take action to authorize the preparation and submittal of a federal grant application to the U.S. EPA Community Change Program. That's just authorization to apply. Did I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept item number 9 is presented.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 10, consider and take action to authorize the publishing for request for proposals, RFP, for professional management grant services for the U.S. EPA Community Change Program. This one just gives us an opportunity to go out for bids for agencies to facilitate the grant.
Motion to approve item number 10 is presented.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 11, discuss, consider, and take action to authorize the publishing for the request of statements of qualifications, RFQ for engineering services for the U.S. EPA Community Change Grant Program. This is just an authorization so we can go out for RFQs for the engineering portion of it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second to approve agenda item number 11 as stated. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 11, yeah. Number 12, discuss, consider, and take action to authorize the publishing for public hearing notice for the U.S. EPA Community Change Program. Like Mr. Lozado mentioned, when we start talking about nailing down the projects that we want, we have to have public hearings, have discussion and input from our community. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second to approve agenda item number 12 as stated. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item number 13, discuss, consider, and take action to adopt a resolution to submit the federal grant application to the U.S. EPA and Community Change Program. This is just the resolution that Jim Wells County Commission Court authorizes the application.
Motion to approve item number 13 is presented, Judge.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second to approve agenda item number 13 as stated. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Agenda item number 14. Discuss, consider, and take action for Commissioner Precinct 3 Renee Kirchhoff to purchase a 2023 John Deere 5100E cab tractor and a 2024 JWC FR Flex wing rotary cutter through buy board.
We need another tractor. We're using one of my tractors with the grapple attachment. And we got to catch up on mowing, and it's just badly needed. And we'll definitely get with
Commissioner,
Noe.
are you gonna turn in trade in any other article?
Unmute, Mark.
Yes, we're going to trade in. Yeah.
Gonna trade in?
Yes.
And I just want you to read out as to what you're gonna trade in, and that's gonna come off of our inventory.
Yes.
That way we do it properly and you're gonna trade it.
Do the paperwork for the trade-ins.
It's.
We're
whatever
trading
you're
in a 2007 John Deere 5225 tractor. And
Make a motion to approve.
do it.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion.
Okay.
Okay,
Second.
then
I'll get with you.
Go ahead and get the paperwork to us, that way we know and we get it off of the inventory.
Okay. Got it.
Yes, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Capture up here.
Only like 40.
What's it cost, 100?
97.
Agenda item number 15, discuss, consider, and take action to adopt a resolution proclaiming September 2024 as Attendance Awareness Month. And this resolution proclaims that Jim Wells County Commissioners Court and the county supports 100% the attendance of all our ISDs throughout the county. Can I entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and I'm a yea on that one too. Isabel, it was probably sent like this, but can we put it on a little stock paper or something before we sign it? Thank you. Agenda item number 16, discuss, consider, and take action to appoint Romaldo Solis Jr. as the vacant position of judge of the Jim Wells County Court at Law, setting the effective date and salary for the remainder of 2024 year. Okay? We do have a vacant county court at law position. Mr. Solis, of course, he won his elections, and we no longer have to wait till January to get him. You know, we have a lot of work to be done in that office, and the sooner he gets here, the better. So, it would be good to get him here. We've had all the necessary procurement in this. I'll just use the word procurement since we've been using it, to get him here. And I think our county court at law and everybody else is pretty much in agreement.
Well, yeah, definitely, you know, so we're spending quite a bit of money on the visiting judges. I don't know if he got back with you, because we were discussing two possible start dates.
Uh-huh.
Did he give you one?
He didn't give me one. He was good for October 1st, in the last conversation we had. But with discussing it with our auditors, September 30th would be the best, because that's the starting of a pay period. So, I have no problem with recommending that. Now, the only question I had was the salary. We're gonna set the salary after 1 o'clock in the budget hearing. If we can do, I can make the motion that we accept, a date of, September 30th, 2024, to have him fill that position of the county court at law judge, pending the salary that's set in our budget workshop.
Well, isn't the budget salary already set since last year? We had a county court at law judge before. The budget was already set. You guys coming in, what are we doing? It was just take over the same
Have we
salary.
been drawing from that to pay the visiting judges? That's a question for the auditor.
But we always have visiting judges, regardless.
Yeah, but we've had more.
Not at this,
We've had a lot
not
more.
at this level.
Yeah.
We've always had visiting judges, and regardless, it's always been the same. It's not gonna
I think
change.
the budget requires it, that, the proposed budget is 157, so for right now, it's 157.
That what?
And then maybe after lunch, if it increases, that's be another.
Yeah, you can appoint and set it the effective date, and then with the stipulation that it's gonna be whatever the final, well, it's gonna be prorated, of course. Whatever the final salary is set, which is gonna happen before September 30th, then it'll be the prorated amount of whatever you all choose to set the salary at. I know the proposal is 157, he asked for 175. So it could be one or the other. Y'all are gonna vote on that before he takes office. So I don't think that's a problem. You can go ahead and take care of the first two parts today, and the salary will be contingent on whatever y'all finally adopt.
This afternoon. Yeah.
Well, is it this
Yeah.
afternoon?
Yes. Yeah.
No, but that's just a workshop.
Yeah, to adopt, yeah. But
The budget will be officially finally adopted sometime later this month.
yeah, officially adopted, but we'll know probably by the end of the day what he's going to, what we agree upon that he starts at. I'll make a motion that we approve his starting date at September 30th, and the salary be pending the workshop and approval of the final budget for 2025. So I got a motion. Do I have a
Second.
Motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, Judge. You're gonna come on board on September 30th. I don't know if he's up there or not. Okay, agenda item number 17. Discuss and consider and take action on a lease agreement between Louis O. Smith trustee and Carol Mangold trustee, leaseors of Jim Wells County leasing. The lease shall be for a term of 2 years, commencing on September 1st, 2024, ending August 31st for caliche purchases.
Okay, Margie submitted this. There is a little bit of a difference here than what we're doing on some other ones. This one calls for a minimum purchase of $150 worth of caliche every month. Whether
150,
you use it or not. So that's-
150?
So that's 100 yards. So and then anything purchased over and above 100 yards within a month will be billed at $1.50 a yard. But, you know.
Doesn't she have a leach pit over here on 137?
This one is. On
This
Park.
is, it's the, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's the same caliche pit. It's just that some months we wouldn't use any caliche, so there was no payment. And so they either wanted to go up on the price of the square yard or place a minimum of $150 a month. So we went with the $150 a month, and for sure we'll take the 100 yards that we need to get to reach the 150.
Hasn't been delivered any caliche in the past. Why would we want to do commit ourselves to $150 a month? If we
No,
haven't
we use
delivered any.
caliche all the time. We use it all the time, but sometimes we get it from a different pit when we're in another area. But so we'll just get, what we need to get and not go up on the price per yard.
I'd like to make a motion to deny this item.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I really don't, I didn't hear a good explanation, so I'd rather, table it to see where we're at, but whatever direction it takes, it's,
Well, we have a
if you wanna
contract.
Deny it, it'd be okay.
If she has a contract to the end of the year and she's not going to be here at the end of the year, then why don't we let somebody else
Well,
decide that?
Well, that's why I want to table it. The table means that it can come back next year, If you deny it today, he cannot bring it back.
Margie,
Yes, sir.
you're leasing for the same person, right?
It's the same person, and we pay $1.50 a yard. Okay.
Okay,
But
what?
there have
So
been some months.
Hold on, let me ask you a question, hold on. The person wants to increase the price, correct?
They would either increase the price per yard or just put a stipulation that we pay $150 a month, regardless if we take it.
What does the current contract say? Because they have to honor what the contract says until the ending date of the contract. So what does the contract say right now?
$1.50 a yard. But I believe that the contract that we have has already been,
Has it ended?
it's already ended, yes. Yes.
Okay,
I can talk to them and tell them to just, if we can leave it like this till the end of the year, because I will not be there in January. And maybe Mr. Aguilar would want to use a different pit, I don't know, but that one is it's close to us and we use it all the time.
okay.
And we just excavated a whole bunch of caliche.
Okay, so, Mr. Gonzalez,
I can't, I don't want to, I still deny the motion.
okay, so
Yeah, we can deny it. It really doesn't matter, because it's gonna be a new contract. We can always bring a new contract back into the court.
okay, so I have a motion to deny, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, let's see here. This next agenda item, I needed Mr. Bob Zachariah to be on the Zoom, but he's not there. Oh, yeah, he is now. Mr. Bob Zachariah, can you hear me?
Sheriff, Judge.
Judge, if we can be excused, we have a meeting at 10.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I can hear you, Judge.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay. Okay, so agenda item number 18, discuss, consider, and take action to apply for the United States Department of Transportation, U.S. Department of Transportation Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Discretionary Grant Program. I have Mr. Zachariah on Zoom to explain this grant application opportunity. I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Zachariah.
Thank you so much, Judge and honorable commissioners. I appreciate you. I apologize for the signal quality issues or the sunlight. I'm traveling and in between multiple video calls to different counties for the same program, different counties that are coming on board. This particular program is a program very similar to the previous gentleman who made on the water and the other infrastructure. This is a bipartisan bill that was passed. $1.7 billion was granted to counties all over the U.S. And sometime in June, the fund closed, and only 500 million of the $1.5 billion got utilized. So the administration decided, Department of Transportation, that they want to reopen it, but before the next budget cycle for the federal government comes into play, they wanted to get approvals done, get all the grants submitted. So they opened it only for about 10 days. And the grant submittals closes on Wednesday night. We've been doing a lot of the prep work, studying the different counties. And there's a tremendous opportunity for Jim Wells County to take advantage of this particular grant. It's not a grant that is meant for utilization today or based on the fact that there are EV electric vehicles traveling through or owned in the county. It's basically an infrastructure that the federal government has come out with to prepare the rural communities of South Texas or other parts of the U.S. To get ready for the electric vehicle charging and the electric vehicle transportation infrastructure that is being built all over the U.S. So as the fleet operators, as the daily traveling salespeople switch their vehicles to electric battery-powered vehicles, they want the rural communities not to miss out on traveling by those fleets or by the salespeople. And also, the other is the fact that tourism as well. So the federal government wants to make sure that the rural communities do not lose out because folks who own the EV vehicles in the larger cities avoid the smaller towns and the smaller counties because the EV charging facility is not there. Finally, the third part of it is the fact that they would like to prepare the rural communities and be ready so that as the EV vehicles become affordable to the general public, in fact, Ford and GM and others are coming out with vehicles in the $25,000 to $30,000 range here in the next 6-8 months. One particular company, they manufacture in the U.S., but they're an Asian company, Hyundai. They've already come out with a $26,000 EV vehicle. So, that allows for sure folks in the rural communities to take advantage of those as well. And then the federal government wants to make sure that the local communities have the infrastructure ready and ready to be deployed when the final push happens. At the moment, Texas is the third largest buyer of electric vehicles in the U.S. That's a sizable number, and it's only increasing each year. Last year alone, 23 to 24, Texas purchase of EV vehicles went up 60%. So it's a growing number. The fleets are going in that direction. Love's, for example, has taken advantage of a similar grant, and they're setting up EV charging rest stops all over the U.S. They've got 5 of them under development in the Northeast, and they're going to deploy it into different parts of the U.S. Our analysis and the study that's been done, and I thank you, Judge, for helping us get some of the locations identified and such. Jim Wells will qualify approximately for 18.8 million dollars to set up EV charging at the courthouses, at the parks, at community centers, at rec centers, all the different places that have been identified. So altogether, the package is for roughly about $18.6 million. And the beauty of this particular grant is the fact that there's hardly any stipulations where the county has to put any discretionary funds or any funds from the county. All of it is done by us. The requirement is that there has to be a private company contributing 20% of the grant, and then my company will participate with that 20% grant matching. And then, of course, we will work with the county. We'll work with the workforce development. We'll work with the local installers, local electricians, local landscaping companies, and such to deploy the grant when it's successfully awarded to us. So there will be local workforce utilized. And then for the life of the contract, be it maintenance, be it landscaping, be it cleaning the chargers, we will have locals, citizens who have small businesses involved in that particular project as well. Of course, under the discretion of the county leadership, telling us which are the companies that we should be potentially working with. So, in practically in a nutshell, we're ready to go. We've been working on it, getting ready for it. Based on your approval, we'll move forward and submit the grants request to the federal government, and then work towards making it successful.
Thank you. So this was a quick one. We found out about it last Wednesday. Contacted Mr. Michael Esparza, Mayor of Alice, Ms. Vargas, Mayor of Fremont, and I'm gonna speak with the Orange Grove Mayor and possibly San Diego Mayor also. The county has to be the administrator of the grant, but we can have participation from the cities in the counties. So the cities have the majority of the locations where we have high traffic counts, and these EV centers want high traffic counts. So they're willing to submit letters of support and intergovernmental agreements to participate with the county on this one. And mind you, it's difficult for us to approve something quick. But I've spoken to Mr. Zachariah on multiple occasions, and I've asked him if at any time we don't agree with anything or we decide we don't want to participate in it, we can back out. So the application process, we can go through it, and if there's any issues, we get the grant, everything's hunky-dory, and we have these EV stations, charging stations throughout the county. But on the flip side, if we don't agree with something, of course, everything's approved by Mr. Guerra before we approve anything in Commissioner's Court. So that being said, I want to make a motion that we approve this and at least go through the application process to see if we get the grant and how we can implement it in Jim Wells County. So I make a motion to approve agenda item number 18.
Judge, I got a question.
As stated. Go ahead.
Is there any revenue out of this? How does it work?
Well, Mr. Zachariah, is he still there?
Yes. So there is revenue out of this. We will, for sure, a lot of the grant money will have funds in it, like I said, for workforce development, for local community business leaders to jump on board small business. But in addition to that, we won't be able to work out the exact structure of some of the revenue sharing from the charging revenue till such time the grant is properly funded. And we know exactly the dollar amounts included. One of the things that we are doing from our side for counties such as yours joining with us is the fact that we are willing to give back to the county, the communities, a certain percentage of the profit that we'll actually make, so that there will be county improvements that can be done. And although we're not obligated to share any revenue from the charging because we're doing a 20% match on the investment, we are ready to share part of the charging revenue ongoing that will be monthly, yearly with the county, city, as per where the locations are. But that part of it, the percentage, the structure, we cannot do and figure out and tell you what that is till such time the grant is actually awarded and we know the particulars of the grant. But we're very community oriented. Our family's always been, our families, our investors, all of them, providing back to the communities. We support it, and we will be there with the communities all the way through.
So you're saying that we install these things and people get to use them, but you can't tell us how much money we would possibly make, if any. But you're not obligated to give us anything of the profits. Is that?
We will be sharing the profits, but we cannot calculate at the moment because that part of it depends on what is the kilowatt per minute charging that we can potentially charge in these communities as well. So, we don't have that structure. In Houston, for example, you can get electricity for about 12 to 13 cents a kilowatt. And then if you sell it for 25 or 30 cents, a percentage of that can be shared. We need to do the analysis once we start the process forward as to what is the dollar amount or kilowatt per minute that can be charged to each of the drivers. And then based on the grant structure, we'll need to then figure out what is that amount that we can then share with, with the counties once we do the final full analysis of the project.
Okay. So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
I have a motion, I have a second. Is there any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Zachariah.
Thank you. I appreciate all of your time. I apologize that I had to do this by video. There's about now the counties, 11 counting, jumping on board with the program. I have to make multiple video calls. I do give you my assurance that at a future date, based on judges' calendar dates and such, I will make myself available to come down personally and to meet with each of you, of course, to thank each of you and also to personally talk to you about what the next steps are.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
At some point, back out, right?
Yeah, at any point. Any point something we don't like, we can back out.
Okay, thank
I
you.
want to make sure we have that outlet. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Goodbye.
We'll skip number 19 and take care of 20. Well, we'll just go to number 19. Discuss salary and personnel expenses grievance by Judge Matthew Smith, Precinct 3, JP. Now all we do is read out what the committee. Yeah. So I don't have in my packet the specifics on the grant, let's see. Mr. Guerra, do I read what the grievance was, or just the?
Well, just what his request was to be modified up to what the other two JPs that were elected the same year he was. And the committee voted on it, and what the vote was.
Okay, so Justice of the Peace Precinct 5, Matthew J. Smith filed a grievance against the county of Jim Wells County, stated that when he began January 1st, 2023, with a salary of a little over $44,000, with the pay increase this year to $45,587, he came in the same time that JP5, JP6 came into office and began with at $51,500. So his request was to start to be elevated to $51,500. That was brought to the salary grievance committee. and the Salary Grievance Committee voted 8-0 to approve his grievance. In a Salary Grievance Committee, there's usually 9 members. We're missing 9, with the 9th member. And in that committee, if it's 9-0, it gets automatically approved. Now, if it's below 9, it's turned over, the recommendation is turned over to the Commissioners Court, and the Commissioners Court makes that decision. So that being said, is there any discussion that needs to be had?
It's just a salary grievance?
Yes, it's just a salary grievance. No other issues were placed.
So he's asking to get matched with everybody else. That would put all the JPs at the same level.
No, the JP one and JP six, no, 1 and
4.
4 get paid more than 51.5.
1 and 4.
Cadena, Chapa, and if approved, Schmidt would all be at the same level of 51.5.
I'll make a motion to approve the item.
Gets paid more, and so does.
That would put 2 and 3.
Right.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the item.
No second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, and I'm an aye on that one. Congratulations, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Commissioners.
George, I'd also like to notify it is Mr. Smith's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday. Got an early present.
That's a heck of a present there.
Agenda item number 20, discuss, consider, and take action on payroll and bills submitted by county auditor with the exemption of Fund 52, 53, and 54.
I make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same side. Motion granted.
Thank you all. Senora, thank you, sir, for your service.
Agenda item number 21. Nobody wants to leave early today.
Move to adjourn.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any further discussion needed? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same
Aye.
sign. We'll see everybody at 1 o'clock.